Hi, my name is Andy. Welcome to Pure Tough Health. Hi, today we're going to talk about steam tents. So steam tents are really very simple. This is something people have been using for a long time, but it's been forgotten in our day of age for the most part. Okay, so the reasoning behind steam tents is this. When you boil water and you put herbs into this water, it creates steam. And when you have the herbs in the water, those herbs actually release some of the oils that are in them, which is what they call essential oils. Some of your big companies like Young Living actually use or have used a form of steam distillation to get the essential oils out of plants. So when you produce a steam tent and you put those herbs into the pot, those essential oils are coming up into the steam and you are breathing those into your lungs, into your sinuses, down your throat, which is a really good thing if you're fighting infection. So I've had some people ask me, well, can you put essential oils, straight essential oils, little bottles of them, in the steam tents? Yes, but I don't. It's one of those things, they are so strong. I've actually had some people have problems when they did that. So if you don't have anything else, say you're on a trip and, oh my goodness, getting sick, feel horrible, I'm in the airport or whatever it is. And speaking of that, you can always get hot water from a coffee pot or something along those lines. See if a restaurant or somebody will boil you some water or give you some really, really hot water. And so say if all you have is a little bitty bottle of essential oil, then I would probably put 1 drop in that water. But other than that, be very, very careful with essential oils in steam tents. They're very strong. And I'm a big fan of essential oils. I use them a lot. I really like them. But for steam tents, not so much. So with the dried plant, you're getting a little bit of essential oil, breathing that in, and that helps fight infection. Okay, so we have our pot. I'm going to turn it all the way up high. And this is just filtered water. You probably do want to use some kind of a filtered water or distilled water or something to that effect. You don't want to use water that has a lot of chlorine in it. So just tap water is not a great idea. But if that's all you've got, then boil the water first and let the chlorine evaporate, and then put your herbs in it and use it for you. Okay, so into this water, you want to put herbs. And I usually use about 2 to 3 tablespoons of plants, herbs. Again, use whatever you want. Sagebrush, thyme, rosemary, oregano, fir needles, pine needles, or grindelia. For today's, I'm going to just use oregano. You can measure this if you want to. I measure for most of my recipes, but some things I just flat don't. So about a tablespoon of rosemary. I'm sorry, that was oregano. Now we'll do rosemary. And I'm going to put some sagebrush in here. Sagebrush is one of my favorites. Now there are a few different types of sagebrush. This particular one is what they call a soft sage or a silver sage. You'll see it growing out on the prairie, and it has almost like a frondy looking leaf. There is what they call the greater sagebrush, and greater sage looks like a big shrubby rough bush. And that is something that you can also use. It's definitely much stronger. And just to show you this, how you would use this is just take some of the flowers off of it and just drop them in. You can also use the leaves. You can also just break off some of the stems and just stick them in there. This is not a science. You don't have to be really particular on this. Just the point is to try to get the herbs into the water. Okay, our pot of water is getting ready to start boiling here. I'm starting to hear it, and I'm starting to just get little some wafts of these herbs. So let me move the camera down so you guys can see this. Now, something to remember is that you want to try to catch this steam tent right at the beginning when it first starts to boil, because those herbs are starting to boil and they are starting to release the essential oils into the steam. That's what you want inside of you. So don't let it sit there and boil for 5-10 minutes. You want to catch it kind of at the beginning. And you can really start to smell this right now. I'm starting to smell that sagebrush, and I can smell the grandulia and the oregano, thyme, or rosemary, I guess, but rosemary in this one. So as you can see, it's starting to get little bubbles and make noise. Okay, as this is about ready to start boiling here, something that you also need is a towel. This happens to be a linen towel that a friend made for me, and I really like linen because linen has the tendency to not mold, and it's a natural fiber. There's a lot of studies done on natural fibers, especially 100% wool, 100% linen, 100% silk, and they actually think that they are healing to the body. So that's another subject which we're not going to go into now. But our water just now came to a boil, so I'm going to show you what to do here. Okay, you can do the steam tent right over the burner if you want to, but if you have little kids, that's not something that I would highly recommend because hot burners and kids don't mix really well. So let me grab some hot pads and I'll show you this next step. Okay, so what I usually do is I take my hot pads, carry this over to the table or wherever you want to do this steam tent. And so right now you've got this very, very hot boiling pot of water. So I'm going to take my towel, throw it over my head like this. And this is helpful if you can have somebody help you out doing this by taking the lid off. If not by yourself, well then be an octopus and, you know, use 2 hands. You actually need 3, but do your best. Okay, so now you're going to throw this towel over your head and put your face right above the steam. Close your eyes or it will burn your eyes. And just start breathing in deeply, kind of like this. Okay, you want to stay in here for 7 to 10 minutes. Now, when you are breathing, you want to breathe through your mouth. So you'll be doing this. And do that several times. And that will get that down into your lungs. Okay, get out of here for a second. Okay. So when you breathe through your mouth, you don't have a filtration system like you do in your nose. So when you're having lung issues, you want to try to get that steam directly down into your lungs. That's why this is not a nose issue. This is through your mouth. Now, once you breathe through your mouth a whole bunch, you're still under here. You're breathing, then breathe through your nose. Try to arrange this. I need my octopus arms again. Okay, so pinch one side. And keep breathing. And then you're going to pinch the other side. And keep doing that, alternate, and then breathe through both of your nostrils. You can also breathe out of your mouth, as in because sometimes your nose might be stuffed up and you can't breathe through your nose very well, so breathe through your mouth, do what you can. But as you're breathing, you'll start to notice that things open up a little bit, which is really good. The other thing that you also might notice is that you start to warm up because this warm steam is coming into your lungs and into the main part of your body, and it really sometimes can warm you up, which is great because sometimes, if you've noticed, when a person gets sick, you are just cold, cold, cold to the bone cold. So this is a good thing because fevers actually help fight the infection, and that's a whole nother topic. So we'll get into that another time. So stay in this steam tent for 7 to 10 minutes, breathing all the time. Do not be talking. This is one of the things people have the tendency to go, oh, I'm in the steam tent, I'm bored, let's have a conversation. Nope. That's what I tell my kiddos when they're sick. It's like, breathe, breathe. And so breathe. Okay, so say you just did your steam tent, 7 to 10 minutes. You're feeling much better. I've had some people ask about this water. Can I reuse it? Yes, you can. And something that our family does, say there's a sickness going around, it's a bad one, everybody's sick around you, we will do a steam tent in the morning and in the evening, and that seems to be adequate. Now, if you are really fighting something nasty, maybe 3 times a day, but morning, evening seems to be good enough for what we've been doing for a few years now. So I've also had people ask about drinking the water. This is something that I do. I'm kind of hardcore, and this also goes back to homeopathy. I do drink the water. Some people would think, oh, that is absolutely disgusting and gross. So it might be, but you do what you like. If you want to reuse this water, add a few new herbs to it because you do burn these up, and you'll want to replace the water, at least once a day. And especially if you're dealing with a lot of people that are sick in your household, it's nice to replace the water and do fresh herbs. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, just leave your comments and we'll get going with some other classes. Thank you.